Hi, I'm Debra Krakow. I'm here at Koyman Galleries with some of my paintings. Koyman's represented me for quite a few years now, so I'm happy to be here. My training is as an architect. I kind of got into painting through the back door. When I was trying to decide what to study in university, I was kind of torn between fine art and science, physics. And I chose architecture because it seemed to sort of bring the two together. And I was really lucky. We had an art teacher at McGill who had us do life drawing every week for 3 years and took us on sketching trips. So that was kind of my start. And I also got a really good foundation in design. And every painting is a design exercise. So that's kind of how I got into it. Painting is something I've been doing for years, but it's still really challenging, and that makes it completely absorbing. And I love to just lose myself in the work. And when it works, when it's going well, it's really exhilarating. Corollary to that, I guess, is when it's not going well, it's extremely frustrating. But I do have this way of working where I'll often have multiple pieces on the go at once. So if I'm kind of stuck on one, I can put it aside, work on another one, so that kind of keeps me in the flow. And often I'll get ideas in one painting, which will really give me solutions for another painting. Lately, I've got a few themes that I'm interested in. So I live on Wolfe Island, which is outside of Kingston, very rural, but it's not my background. I grew up in the city. So since moving to the country, my husband and I have become kind of homesteaders to a point, and we raise chickens, and I have a big vegetable garden, and I do a lot of kind of traditional homesteading crafts. So all of that becomes part of my subject matter, and whatever's kind of going on in my life ends up in the paintings. So, I just finished putting the garden in, and the chipmunks are destroying it. So painted chipmunks. Last year it was the rabbits, and I painted rabbits. So there's a lot of cows in my paintings, so a lot of rural themes. Also a lot of kind of indoor-outdoor scenes. So I love painting something on a table, but in front of a window. And then often there's birds, and it's kind of that feeling of the lure of the outdoors, kind of enticing me to go out when I'm working in my studio. So that's kind of a theme that recurs. And a lot of use of bright color, kind of a sunny, happy feeling. This is a series I did over the winter when I was kind of craving summer. So painting people at the beach, kind of in a natural setting. And so that's some of what I've been working on lately. Also with the indoor-outdoor ones, I'm really kind of playing with this idea of multiple viewpoints. So traditionally, artists, and this is very much how I was taught, I had a very traditional kind of education, but it was about kind of fixing your viewpoint and your cone of vision and painting everything in perspective the way you would see it if you snapped a photo with a camera. But it's actually not how we perceive spaces, right? You walk into a room and there's a table with stuff on it. Well, you're gonna look down at the table, and then you're gonna look out the window, and you're gonna look around the room, and you're forming all these composites in your mind, which together give you an image of the space. So that's kind of what I'm playing with in the painting. So even though there's something set out on the table, there might be a plate that you're looking straight down on, and then there's a bowl or something else that you're looking across at. So it's this kind of whimsical, playful, playing with perspective, and it's a way of allowing me to abstract the subject as well and get a bit more whimsical with it and not have to create this sort of realistic, atmospheric and linear perspective, which it's actually been a real challenge for me to paint that way because I had such a traditional teaching where I was taught, draw what you see, not what you know, like just be completely focused on what you're observing. Whereas this is a bit more intellectual in a way because you can't snap a photo and see it that way. When people look at artwork, it kind of takes them out of their maybe mindset and gives them a little bit of insight into how another person perceives the world. And I think that can make people more open-minded. It can make them see beauty or interest where they might not have noticed it. Like, for example, there's a painting of my kitchen sink, and the way the light was hitting the sink that day was gorgeous. I don't think a lot of people look at their kitchen sink and think, hey, that's so beautiful. But it's good to do that. It's good to see that, no matter what's happening in life, there's beauty there. And I think artists can help people get out of their kind of daily grind and see the world in a new light.